Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Mutia Rahmawati from class 4A, majoring in English Education at Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University, Jakarta. In accordance with the title of this video, I will review a textbook with a popular genre or a psychology or self-help book entitled How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. The author name is Dale Carnegie. The publisher is Pocket Books. Published in 1948. Page count is 306 pages. There are 10 chapters that I will discuss this time. Part 1. Fundamental facts you should know about worry. In this chapter, we discussed that fearful thoughts can make things seem dangerous and scary, why joyful thoughts help fill our lives with pleasure and gladness. So instead of dwelling of thoughts of anger, of revenge, he proposes that you spend your time focusing on happy, hopeful things. And part 2, basic techniques for analyzing problems. This book offers the following advice on how to break the cycle of worry. We must learn 3 basic steps of problem analysis. Step 1. Get the facts. Step 2. Analyze the facts. And step 3. Arrive at a decision and then act on that decision. Part 3. How to break the worry habit before it breaks you. In part 3, provides the reader with actionable advice that can help break the worry cycle. For example, to keep yourself so busy that you don't have time to ruminate or worry, and to use your common sense together with the law of average of outlaw your worries. Ask yourself, what are the odds against this thing happening at all? Often you will find that your worries are unrealistic and frequently out of proportion. Furthermore, if you know that circumstances are beyond your power to change, then just lean back and cooperate with inevitable. Another piece of actionable advice is to put a stop loss order on your worries. The term is one Dale Carnegie amended after some good advice given on how to make money on the stock market. It goes like this. Dale Carnegie realized that this concept can easily be transferred into other parts of life besides financial matters. Part 4. 7 ways to cultivate a mental attitude that will bring you peace and happiness. Dale Carnegie was once asked what the biggest lesson he ever learned was. The answer was easy. If you think fearful thoughts, you are fearful. If you think miserable thoughts, you become miserable. And if you think happy thoughts, you visit it. You become happy. He follows up this statement by referring to 8 words uttered by the Roman Empire Marcus Aurelius. Further to this amazing reflection, Carnegie gives the following advice. Never try to get even with your enemies because you will only end up hurting yourself far more than you will hurt them. And don't be disappointed if people are ungrateful. Instead, remember that the only way to find happiness is to give just for the joy of giving. And of course, if life gives you lemons, don't worry about it. Make lemonade instead. And part 5, the perfect way to conquer worry. In the chapter, Carnegie recommends that the readers try praying in order to ease their worries. Even you don't believe in good, and even if you are a skeptic when it comes to religion, praying can help us to articulate our worries. It provides a sense of not being alone in the world, and it gives the needed energy to take action. And part 6, how to keep from worrying about criticism. First, he points out that unjust criticism is often a disguised compliment made by someone who is either jealous or feels envy. Then he reminds us to always do the best we can, and by knowing we have done so, we can let all criticism fly right by without taking notice of it. With that said, remember to ask for constructive criticism as this will help you grow. And part 7, 6 ways to prevent fatigue and worry and keep your energy and spirit high. This chapter emphasizes the power of preventing fatigue. Why am I writing a chapter on preventing fatigue in a book on preventing worry? That is simple. Because fatigue often produces worry, or at least it makes you susceptible to worry. Here is the advice he has for the readers. 1. Rest before you get tired. And 2. Learn to relax at work and at home. And 3. Apply good working habits. And 4. Do the most important task first. And 5. Put enthusiasm into your work. And finally, remember that worrying about insomnia will harm you much more than actually having insomnia. And part 8, how to find the kind of work in which you may be happy and successful. This chapter is addressed to young people who haven't yet found the work they want to do and provides advice on how to make the 2 most important decisions of their life. What kind of work to do and whom to marry. It emphasizes the importance of finding work that you enjoy, as well as taking advantage of vocational guidance service to help make the decision. It also warns against relying too heavily on the advice of counselors, as they are not infallible. When choosing a career, consider your parents' advice but make the final decision yourself. Read and study the 5 suggestions about selecting a vocational guidance counselor given by Professor Harry Dexter Kitson of Columbia University, such as avoiding those who claim to have a magic system that will indicate your vocational aptitude. And part 9, how to lessen your financial worries. In this chapter, 70% of all worries are about money, but having more money is not always the answer to financial worries. The key to avoiding debt and financial worries is to have a plan for spending money and to stick to it. Keeping accurate records of all spending for at least 1 month is essential for creating a budget that fits individual needs and provides emotional security and freedom from worry. And the last part, how I conquered worry. The book ends with 32 true and inspiring stories about how people the real world conquered their worry habits, like C.I. Blackwood's story of how he overcome the 6 major worries in his life by writing them down and realizing that none of them happened teaches us the folly and tragedy of worrying about events that may never happen and are beyond of control. In How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, Dale Carnegie encourages us to face worry head on. He proposes a series of strategies that can help us do just that. By cultivating a strong and positive mental attitude, we can fight our own anxieties and find the courage to move on in an uncertain world and live each day to the fullest. Maybe that's enough for me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.